Welcome r/entitled parents. I've married an entitled parent. Have been thinking about writing this for a while, but since the most stupid discussion I've ever had happened tonight, I've just got to get this out. So quick backstory. I married my current wife, Ep, and she had 3 kids prior to us meeting. Ek 1, stepson 13, Ek 2, stepson 12, and Ek 3, stepdaughter 10. We have 2 kids together who as of writing this aren't entitled brats, for how young they are. They are quite good. A few years ago Ek 1 decided to make up stories about me to his teachers saying I've been abusing him and his siblings. Child Services did a thorough investigation and found it to be all made up, and ever since I have kept my distance from any parental roles. I have to admit, I find their entitlement incredibly annoying and lose my temper from time to time. Most of the time though I just walk away. Also, don't know how relevant, but their BO dad, Ed, has been out of the picture until 2 years ago and has since won enough custody and refuses to work, so we have to pay him child support, even though the kids are with us more than half the time. Here is the story from today. Due to how our routines work, it is up to me to get the little kids ready each morning. I also take them to their respective school and daycare. However, all 3 Ek are expected to get themselves ready and catch their buses. Ek 1 always leaves to go to his grandparents because he gets to make a lunch consisting of nothing but sugar. Ek 2 usually follows, but didn't this morning. Instead thought it was a great idea to just stuff about. I don't prompt them or tell them what to do because, as their M says, you can't force them. They have to want to do the right thing. So I'm going about my business, not really paying attention to them. Then out of the blue Ek 2 starts yelling at me, "You retard. You should have told me how late it was. Now I'm going to miss my bus. This is all your fault, you idiot. You suck." This tirade goes on for a while. I ignore it, but in my head I'm getting angrier and angrier. I call his grandmother and tell her to take him to school as she works there. I call and let him what happened, and this is the text I got. "Sorry Ek 2 got cross at you this morning. I just think you need to let it go. We know when he is stressed he doesn't deal with things properly. Perhaps I talk to him about it later when he is calm. Anyway, no one needs the stress. I read it and don't say anything. So come later in the day, I'm not happy at all over cleaning up and doing everything for the X and M notices, and gets cross with me for being distant about it all. This is what happened. M, you need to let it go. Me, but it's happening all the time. Why don't you do something about it? M, because they need to choose to do the right thing. Me, what? M, what are you going to do about it? Me, well, I'll leave if it doesn't stop. M, I'm not stopping you. It isn't fair, everyone keeps telling me what to do with my kids. Me, well, doing nothing about their bad behavior is a bad parent move. M, no, it isn't, as I know they will do the right thing. You just need to let it go. Me, so you're telling me that I have to make a change and allow them to keep treating me like crap? M, yes, they are just babies. Me, so we can't even meet in the middle. M, if you could meet all the expectations, then maybe you would have an argument for that. I need to know what you plan to do. Me, okay, alright. M, I have to go. I'm sick of being judged by everyone because I don't do what people think I should do. She just left. I'm sitting in the bathroom thinking, I don't feel anything anymore. I just feel numb from it. I'm probably in the wrong knowing how I apparently perceive things. I'll update when there is more. Update 1. So after I wrote this, I decided to call my parents and actually seek advice from them, as they both have experience in this from what I learned in the conversation. I'm the youngest of 8 in a blended family, but never grew up with any of my older siblings. They also live 2,000 kilometers away from me. My dad gave me some great advice. Use one of my audio recorders, former radio announcer, and have a lot of gear from those days. Whenever I interact with the X and gather a cache of evidence, in a couple weeks sit down with a third party as a mediator, and go through the evidence with her, and in very black and white terms ask what she's going to do, and give the ultimatum then and there. If she says no, walk. In the meantime, I'll be gathering my resources to prepare for the worst. I would also like to point out, as a couple of you say they believe the ek one about me being abusive, even M knows I don't. My anger is usually in the form of stomping off, muttering or yelling shut up. Here is a quick story. The way our house is designed, the kids' rooms are at one end and our shared office space is at the exact opposite. I was in the office with M working on something. Ek 1 didn't know I was in there and started throwing himself against the door and yelling stop hitting me up. I looked at M and both of us recorded it on our phones. What Ek 1 wanted to do was get me out because at that time I was enforcing a chore chart. Update 2. So before I add to the story, I have to say I'm so appreciative of all of those who have reached out. You all have been able to help me see what I have to do. So, today M and me had another blue all over me standing up for the boundaries I have put in to protect myself. Spent about an hour of her justifying to me that her kids can say whatever to me and that I'm lucky to not have to discipline them because I get to, forced to, take them places to do whatever they want. I essentially said I'm over this shit. M then got angry with me for having a verbal discussion in private with her in our own home about it all because she can't put her thoughts together properly. Me trying to make sure I haven't missed anything said that maybe we need marriage counseling. M's response was, if you think counseling is needed, you go by yourself and fix you. Seriously guys, I know my rose tinted glasses have splintered now. All I see is an entitled, spoiled person that shares my last name and is raising my kids. Will be seeing a lawyer this week and organizing my physical needs. Will keep you updated. Update 3. So M just called me to tell me she needs to add me to a large loan as soon as possible. I feel like this is forcing my hand. So I have drafted a letter. What do you think? M. I don't know where to start. Life has been weird for a long time now. You said you needed me to make a decision, and so I'm here now with one. I think we need to separate. I'm not happy in this marriage. I know you're not either. I'm struggling to see any possible way out of us being miserable. We disagree on too many things and cannot communicate. I'm not going to sit here and type out who is doing what wrong. I honestly think we are not well matched anymore, and I should have seen the signs pointing to that earlier. I'm grateful for the 2 boys you have helped raise with me, and I want to never stop co-parenting them with you. I just can't be in a house anymore where I don't feel comfortable or happy. I know I can be closed off. I know I can be standoffish, but whenever I have brought up a feeling or concern, I never would feel accepted or understood. I know this is because we are very different people. I want to work with you on providing for my boys with everything they need, and I want to still be a part of their life. I'm not like your ex, and won't put you through what he has done, because I know both of us can be fair. I'm sorry that it has come to this, but I'm not happy at all. I can't continue to live like this and be a suitable father for the boys. They deserve the best me. Again, I'm sorry for this. I'm only trying to do what is best. Update 4. So I have made a plan. I'm going to talk to M on Tuesday. I have made a budget and know where I sit for the moment. Applying for homes to rent that are suitable for me and the 2 little ones. She came back home from a weekend away tonight and she has just been wandering the house being grumpy, as she says, frustrated. Wish me luck. My wife, M, allows stepkids, Ek, to treat me like crap. Recent case of Ek 2 missing bus to school and blamed me for not telling him to stop being lazy and hey ready. Talked to M about it and her response was they need to choose to be good, not told. My apologies if I stuffed up the TLDR. Not that experienced at all this. Also thank you kind stranger for the gold. Thanks also to those reaching out. You guys are the best. Kids are the embodiment of instant gratification. If something gives a greater return, but takes longer and or more work to obtain, they'll take the easier/faster option, even if the return isn't as good, because it's faster and or easier. And habits like that stick well into adulthood. It's why rent to own places still exist. Why save money to buy a thing outright in 6 months, when you can have the thing now and just make payments for the next few years, even though you end up spending 3-5x times the cost of the thing. In my opinion, for as little as that's worth, you need to start framing it less about you trying to parent, and more in the context of right and wrong. As someone else mentioned, kids don't magically know that they need to be shown. When Ek 2 drops the ball, point out that it's his responsibility to get himself ready. When he starts talking back, you put an end to that shit, because you're not going to set the example of letting someone run over you because they messed up. Your younger kids are watching and need an example of how to stand up for yourself. You shouldn't let them get over it because you're not teaching Ek 2 how to deal with conflict well. Em is struggling with how to teach them, and she sees the easy button as conflict resolution instead of pushing through a tough spot and showing them how to deal with issues. She probably has those same struggles, and that's why the kids are acting out. They're seeing her bad example. I don't think this is a divorce situation unless she's not willing to work through change. If you sit her down and explain this is about setting the right example and teaching right from wrong, then you're showing her an example of it in action. Let her know it's going to be tough. The kids are gonna fight back hard, but she has to be on the side of teaching them, not appeasing them. In this context, it doesn't matter if you're their bio dad or not. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Hi, as a stepmom, your post really reminded me of the bad years in my marriage. I was at tons of step parenting forums and learned a lot there, which probably saved my marriage in the end. First, your strategy of not parenting the stepkids is a good one. It is called detachment, and if you can't co-parent as equal partners, that is the only solution. But it doesn't mean that you have to let yourself be used and stepped all over. Their actions can and should still have natural consequences for them and for you. So if they are nasty to you, stop doing things for them and make sure that they know why. They don't get to be assholes to you and still have you drive them places, do their laundry, and whatnot. You can also tell so that you are teaching them, that you are showing them by setting an example that they can't treat other people like crap and still get all the help. Treat you like crap, no laundry being done for them, no driving to football practice. Let this fall on your so. And one more thing, you are allowed to tell them to STFU and get out if they talk like that. You don't have to let this go without doing anything. You are no doormat, and your so shouldn't expect you to be one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.